Well, where are we at, my lovelies? Yeah, here we are, rolling in the years. Where shall we go from here? I don't know. Nope. I don't know. Now that all the children are growing up. It's a psyop. It's a psyop, I tell you. Where's my pen? Hang on now. I'll give about 2 minutes. I'll get one person. Hang on. I'll keep you in the dark for a little bit. Yeah, you're all watching TNT. I get it. I get it. But you're missing it. You're missing the good stuff. Well, you sit in the dark for a minute. I'll be back. Stanley, I think Stanley has something to say to me. Yeah, I do, you fucking moron. Stanley? Stanley. Stanley, the twink they call me. Ah, Master Nature. Well, hello, everybody. Where you been? I've been looking for you. Oh, yeah. How's everybody feeling? Hello, Mrs. John E. Knapp. Faithful Lily. Faithful Lily in the garden. How you guys feeling? What you feeling? What you thinking? Hey. You feeling good? What are you feeling? Hey, that's good. You feeling optimistic? All right, that's good. What's making you feel optimistic? What is it? Look into the flame. Tell me. What is making you optimistic? 8. All right. So how you guys feeling about today? Hey, I just, decided to do a quick live, see how you guys are feeling you out. What are you thinking? Are you upset? You like kind of like, how are you? I think he already accepted it. At least that's what I saw. Yeah, he accepted it. As far as I saw, that's what I saw. Hey, the judge. Well, maybe I'll wait to get into all that, but I'll wait to get into that. I don't want to go off on tangents too soon here. you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. To me, I mean, if we want to talk about the case a little bit, to me, it doesn't make any sense. Just me personally, it does not make any sense. We could string it all together, but it just doesn't make any sense. No, well, no, that's smart of you. Smart of you. Isabel, that's smart of you. Very smart. But I guess you could. What do you chalk it up to? Just being misled, or like maybe I don't know. How's he gonna? But see, he's gonna waive his right to appeals, and so that's in the agreement. Hey, Liv, how you doing? Sugar Lily, my sugar moon, my original sugar moon, sugar lily moon. What do you mean? Why a trial after he pled guilty? What are you talking about? What do you mean? What you mean? There ain't gonna be no trial. No trial. Yeah. But how? Oh, I mean, I would hope that, right? But how is he going to be exonerated? Who's going to come forward and say, "I did this"? Not Brian. I don't know. Well, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. Now what happens is, oh, they say, well, he's trying to spare his family, right? Okay, well, guess what? In that agreement, though, the families who are or like a pack of wolves, okay, they're gonna go after his family for restitution. Okay, so he didn't do his family any favors because now, if they're pissed off enough, they're going to seek restitution. And that's an agreement. So you can imagine a pissed off Steve G being like, you know what? I want every single dollar from these people, right? That's it. That's his mentality, right? He doesn't give a shit, this guy. He's the mutt. So imagine that though. You opened your family up now to all this restitution that these people can go after you for, and they could take your house, they could take your cars. I don't know what they could do to you. You know what I'm saying? So if he took this plea to help his family, he didn't fucking help him at all. Just saying. Because if these people are sue happy, they're gonna go after assets. You understand? They're gonna go after assets. Hey, you took my kid's life. I gotta be compensated for that, right? So who are they gonna go after? I mean, they could sue Idaho for certain things, but they're gonna try to go after his family or relative. I don't know if they could do that. I don't know how far that extends, But hell, that's what he. Hey, in that agreement, that's also in that agreement. So they can seek restitution. Not a good thing, especially in a civil fucking suit. Not a good thing. So what? Let's say these families decide to go all in on a civil suit action against the fucking Koberger family. Well, guess what? How's that gonna help his fucking family if he pleads guilty? How's that gonna help his family out? Right? It doesn't help his family at all. Actually, it puts them through. It puts them even through worse mud. Right? Right. So yeah. So yeah. Oh, by the voodoo. Yeah, I got a little voodoo. I'm sorry, little voodoo going on there. Uh, just saying. Okay. Yeah. But well, see, his family is relative. Look, his family is straight middle class. They are not wealthy. They do not have money. They are not wealthy, but beyond any means whatsoever. And so that already you're at a disadvantage. Already you're at the mercy of an entire state budget, okay, that's coming after you. And you're straight line middle class family, whose budget is probably very, very thin. You got to live within your means. So they don't have the luxury. They don't have the excess cash to be flying back and forth to Idaho, and they don't get the money to hire, whatever. So yeah. So already you're at a disadvantage, with this kind of shit. You're on uneven ground. Hey, you could be right, Isabel. Hey, you could be totally right, you know. But see, I need a step by step on how this was actually done. That's what I need. I need a playbook here on how he pulled this off because I'm not going to believe anything else. So, I mean, yeah. Can't go back on logic now. I'm not gonna fold back into my I'm not gonna throw my logic under the bus just because he pled guilty. No, I want to know how he did it. If he's the lone perpetrator in this crime, show me every step of the way how he pulled this off, and then I will believe you. That's the only way. That's the only way for me. There's no other way around it for me. Because I'm sticking to my logic until somebody comes along and shows me, on paper that yes, this is how you totally messed up. And I'm not going to forsake my own logic. Never. Never, never, never. Whether that's the government telling me to do that or whether that's some state telling me to do that, I'm never going to forsake my own logic. Never. Never, never. Ever. Don't ever do that. Don't ever forsake your own logic. So, I don't know. Yep. It doesn't. Hey, Liv, I totally agree with you. It doesn't. It does not make any sense. And it doesn't. So I don't think we were wrong. I don't think we were wrong in making the connections that we were making. That I don't think that's our fault at all. Based on everything that we have seen up until this point, I think the connections that everybody that we were making, or in some sector of this, that was right. You know what I'm saying? That was right because of what every what the information was. So I think a lot of the connections were correct in some certain ways. You know, so just it just depends on what sector you're talking about. If you're looking at Linda Lane, if you're looking at like this, the grub truck, if you're looking at the documents, the sectors. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, I think a lot of logical connections were being made here based on everything that was put out. So I don't think that's our fault at all. The state, this state. I mean, maybe they'll unseal. I don't know. I hope they unseal everything, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt they're gonna unseal everything in this case. I fucking highly doubt it. Believe me. I think that's gonna be a total disappointment because there are so many errors that they've made in this case that they really have no substantial evidence, unless, again, we don't know. But still, they made so many errors, and how do you even still get to this person? That question still has not been answered to this day. How do you get to this person? Right? Nobody can still answer that fucking question. How do you get to this person? Nobody has come up with a reasonable explanation for how you do that. You pick him out of a fucking hat, eh? That's what you did. You picked him. Did you pick him out of? You picked him out of a hat. Huh? You just happen to pick the right. You just happen to pick the right white Hyundai Elantra out of what? How many? You just happen to win the lottery, right? And then paired with what? A bushy eyebrow? Come on. So, yeah. Again, I don't know why we're pleading guilty based on that kind of shit. How do you plead guilty? I don't know. Again, if you're going to do this, listen, if you're Stanley, right? If you're Stanley, listen. If you're in it, if you aspire to be a Stanley, correct? You ain't gonna fucking plead guilty. So if you're gonna be a psychopath, well then be a psychopath. Don't fucking pussy out at the last minute, right? If you're gonna take that road, right? If you're a sociopath or a psychopath that hates women, or whatever, well then, why are you wimping out now? I mean that does right. You can look at it that way as well. right? If you have this much hatred towards females, right? Towards whatever they're trying to say, it doesn't make any sense to begin with. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Then why won't you make them suffer? I don't get it. And then all of a sudden you cop out at the last minute? Guys, there's no right. Look, again, if you're going to be if you want to be a psychopath, okay? If you're trying to emulate Ted Bundy or whoever you're trying to emulate, you ain't going to do this. You're not going to cop a plea at the last minute. No, you're gonna do what Ted Bundy fucking did. You're gonna stretch it out for as long as you possibly can, and throw some throw some theatrics in there, right? Hey, might as well go theatrical, right? If you're gonna go the whole way, just fucking might as well go theatrical with it. Think about it. Think about it. Yeah. 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 This would have been a this that would have been a three of a perfect pair if this trial would have commenced, and that would have been like the Trinity right there of fuck you. You know what I mean? That would have been like the Trinity of F you law enforcement, F you like FBI trying to pull tactics and whatever you're trying to do. You cover up for your cops, and your bullshit. That would have been a perfect fucking trinity to see that through the rest of this year. But something ground this to a fucking halt. Something ground this to a halt. And what is that thing that ground this wheel of fate that was churning on? What ground this thing to a fucking halt? We got what is that thing that's that put a that all the train just suddenly threw on the brakes. What is that thing? Yeah, plus 10 years for 10 years for everything. Yeah, why not? He copped everything. Copped to everything. Copped to everything. Copped to everything. Not even a second. Not even second degree. Not even a second degree. Nothing. Copped to everything. Copped to everything. Now, if you're a psychopath, you ain't gonna do that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you ain't gonna do that. If you're a psychopath, you ain't gonna cop. You're gonna play it out as long as you can. Just like good old Ted. Just like good old Charles. You know, just like the rest of them. You play it out until the very end. Fuck. I mean, what do you got to lose, right? I mean, these are true sociopaths. However, what do you want to say? I think, I think Bundy was a sociopath, but I don't know. Whatever. Nah, Hitler. Eh, I understand, but Hitler, again, Hitler was biased from the very beginning, and it's unfortunate that the defense they did not try to remove him as soon as they possibly could. They did not do it. They didn't make a move, and that cost them. I don't know if that was on purpose or whatever, but they should have. That should have been snuffed out. That was snuffed out way long ago, and they didn't act. So yeah, They should have actually they should have made the move against him, and they didn't do it. I mean, even if it was like a long shot, I still would have fucking tried to do it. Even if I knew that I had no chance in hell of getting this fucker out of there, I would have played that card. Me personally, I would have played that card somehow. Fuck yeah, I would have. I mean, what are you risking? Not much. Either he gets, hey, either it's like, yeah, go, or he says, no, I'm gonna stay right here. You're not gonna really, you're not gonna fucking do anything. But I would just done it, just put it on the record, at least. That's what I would have done. I would have just at least done that to get it on the record that, hey, the judge, they actually tried to get this guy out of here. It's a paper trail. That's all it is, a paper trail there, right? But still, I would have tried to have done that. Again. Well, you tell me, guys. Do you think the state has some big piece of do you think the state has some big piece of evidence that we don't know about? Do you think they have that? Some big piece of evidence that we don't know about. And if so, what would that evidence be that we don't know about? Yeah, I don't know. Like, what could that possibly be? I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I try to keep thinking of scenarios. Just scenarios. It's like hmm? Scenarios. So I don't know. Uh still I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Hmm. I mean, I don't know. It's very bizarre. I mean, if Yeesh. Stretch. But I I don't know. I don't know if I want to go there. I don't know if I want to go there. I don't know if I want to go there because I could say this. Listen, I could say this. I could say, well, if ever there were to be a death penalty case, this would be the case, right? Because it's so horrific. Okay, so yeah, the death penalty I would see could definitely be warranted in this case. You know, right? I mean, absolutely horrific crime. Yeah, depraved. Whatever. I don't know if we'll ever know the extent of their injuries. I don't know if we'll ever know that, which is another thing to consider. Hey, that's another thing to consider. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know if those things will ever get released. Uh, you see, that's the thing. It's horrific, right? It's graphic, but we'll probably never see the entire scope of what happened in that house. So we'll probably never see that, unfortunately. You know what I mean? To make our own determination of what we think happened. So we'll never fucking see that. Um, yeah. So what do you think? I mean, I wish we could see, I mean, picture that. I wish we could see all the photographs, what it looked like inside the house, the scope of that. Not to be gross and gruesome, but just to kind of get an understanding of the nature of what happened and how it's possible to envision, the wolf going in, doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, you know what I mean. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. I'm not talking. I don't mean to. I'm not talking to down anybody. I'm just saying. Like, I want to see. I want to see the whole picture. Yeah, possible. Impossible, Bob. I would think it's impossible. I mean, with that, I would imagine. I would imagine complete chaos, to some degree, or something. I don't know. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. True. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So, eh, not good. Not good. Just not good all around. Not good all around. I don't know. Yeah, 8.5 hours. 8.5 hours, guys. Hey, listen, I'm gonna jump back on here a little bit. I gotta go. I gotta go, but I'll jump back on here a little later. All right? I love you all. All right, we're gonna end right here. It's a short one. Okay. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.